All
I
right.
have a few.
Alrighty. Good afternoon, folks. It's your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. And once again, I have my companion and historian and a man of information, Jared.
How's it going?
And yeah. Anyway, today is a issue of a. This is a muscle talk, especially when we're talking about the growing number of women of Asian descent. That's Asian women in the sport of bodybuilding. In the last few years, there quite a been a growth of female bodybuilders who are Asian in the sport. Now, I used to remember there was maybe one time there was one Asian woman when she started off. It was by name of Yuri Ujimi. It was Juma. If I see it right. Yuri Ijima, I guess the name. If I got it correct, I'm sorry. And she was from Japan. And she competed. She started in the good part of the 80s, and her career ended around 99. Her last competition was Chantana. And also, she was at that time, she was considered one of the oldest female bodybuilders at the time. Since then, there's been a lot of growing numbers of Asian women from who have come into the sport of bodybuilding in different categories. Most notably bodybuilding, physique, also figure, fitness. There's there's so many of them. The names I couldn't put all together, but the ones I put together, the ones I know. Also, Jared, he knows, and it's surprising. Like, especially there's a lot of shows being done in um, the around Asia, like around China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, India, as there is a growing market for Asian competitors in bodybuilding. Recently, the IFBB just, as you know, Wing of Strength did the ambassador program, which is where they have competitive female bodybuilders who they represent the Wing of Strength and female bodybuilding, and they have two Asian women on it. One lady by the name of Helen Davis, and she's from California, and another lady whose name I can't pronounce just right, so I don't want to say it. I remember her. She competed at the 2019 Vancouver Pro. She took first place because I remember Sheila Black took second place in the women's physique, and now she's gone up from physique to bodybuilding. So, and so Jared.
Um, well, in addition to Wings of Strength, there's also Mona Horschel, uh, Horschelay. I think I'm saying that right. She is she is what?
Mona Porcella.
Mona Pershella. Yes.
From Canada.
Um,
Actually, Jared, she's not really Asian. She's Persian, and that's like
well, tech,
around Middle Eastern.
um,
She's from
Iranian. Technically, well, Asia is a broad category of
yeah,
peoples.
yeah. Well,
Um,
when you go Asian, usually Asia starts right about. You might count Afghanistan up to India, but Iran is more Middle East more than anything. And then also she's Persian, so and she lives in Canada. So that's not like but yeah, I'm gonna say what the point we're making. But like I said, she's more closer to Middle Eastern than she is Asian.
yeah. Well, I mean that also brings up another subject. It's like you know, Middle Eastern people, Middle Eastern female bodybuilders are far and few between, um, for obvious reasons, due to
Mm-hmm.
very um, culturally conservative religious governments there, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
I think an
Yeah.
Iranian female bodybuilder was actually arrested for quote unquote nudity, quote unquote, because she showed parts of her body, like shoulders and stuff, which is technically considered nudity in Iran.
Mhm.
So that's interesting to note. Uh, yeah. Anyway, um, uh, there's that. But one of the most up and coming, I don't know if you mentioned Michelle Jin, Wings of
Yeah.
Strength ambassador.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, I forgot her. Must have missed her. I thought it was three. Oh, is she one? I didn't know she was one. I know. I remember she competed at the Toronto Pro, and she got second to Margie. And then
Yeah,
even though she took second place, but she didn't compete at the Rising Phoenix. I forgot. I think she said with financial reasons she couldn't make the show. But yeah, I think I remember her. I think she competed in a couple of shows. But yeah, I remember for mostly from the Toronto Pro. She's from Canada. She lives in Canada. But yeah.
yes, she is a Chinese descent. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, she's one of the most up and coming female bodybuilders. Very big, very muscular, um, formerly physique, got a lot of calves to her. Yeah, I'm really interested in her career. Um, and if we're going to be talking about Asian female bodybuilders of female bodybuilding descent, you had Brie Brenda uh, Raganot. Raganot. I think I said that right?
Brenda Ragnar. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, yeah. Brenda was really popular because she came in around about the ooh, she competed. She started competing around about late '80s, early '90s, and then she didn't turn pro till about '98 when she won a national. And her pro debut was at the Extravaganza, which was back in '99. If people remember, um, there almost was no Miss Olympia, but they was able to scrap up Miss Olympia at the last minute, and they had two shows at that set at the Miss Olympia and the Women's Strength Extravaganza. And you remember Kim Spesky won Miss Olympia, and Laura Cravat won the Extravaganza show. And I think Brenda came in ninth at the Olympia, and then she took second or third at the Extravaganza show, and she competed for a good while. But she retired around 2010, and I think somebody said she had a shoulder injury or something like that, and that forced her out of. But she had an amazing look, a great body, a great physique. She's Filipino. She's originally from the Philippines, but she lived around in Oregon, and there was also at that time there were three Filipino bodybuilders competing at about the same time, and there was you had Winnie Ragnot, there was Mahan Mendoza, and Becky Rampy. And I think one time they were both the same show together, nationals. And then that was the year that uh, uh, Brenda she got her pro card, and then the next year my aunt Mendoza she got hers, but Becky Rampy never got hers. Becky never ever turned pro. She competed for quite some time, and then she eventually she retired. And she's one of those with like she had an amazing body, amazing physique, and I think she was just kind of, really missed out on being a pro. I mean, I don't know, you just, her look or something, but I think she changed her name or she got married or something like that, or she's going by her traditional Filipino name. I found it. I forgot how to pronounce how to pronounce it. But all you gotta do is you search up Becky Rampy. She spells it Rampey. You know, and good part of the about you saw a good surge of female bodybuilders from that were Asian coming in. There was a lady by the name of June Loon. I think June Loon, Lo, I think Loon, I think it's Loon, and I believe she was from Singapore, and she competed at the Arnold. Amateur Classic, the European show, back in 2013. And that show was a show where Linda, Lisa Cross, Rosina Sanchez, you know, became, you know,
Yeah.
hello, and she competed for quite some time as a bodybuilder, but then she switched to physique some time ago. But she did earn her pro card about a couple years back, and now she's competing as a physique competitor as a pro.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, her name is
Um,
Joan. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Well, I
yeah.
mentioned Brenda because she came in. She was the closest to actually winning the Miss Olympia compared to any other Asian that I could find of Asian descent. She came in second at the 2000 Miss Olympia in the lightweight category. And if she had won that, she would have been won the overall title because that was the year when there was two overall titles, lightweight and heavyweight.
Yeah, yeah, that was. I remember that. That was people called a joke. Actually, I felt like Andrew Blanchett should have. That's always been the debate. A lot of people say Andrew Blanchett should have won that show, but way the mindset of it, I think IFBB was trying to change from bodybuilding by bringing in more, how you could say, uh, more feminine looking for your bodybuilders. And that's why they went with Valentina Shevchik. And Drew was more what the fans wanted, you know. And also, there's quite a few. There's some events that are more popular that are in another division, like Tina Nguyen. If you ever heard of her, she mostly does physique, not physique. She does figure, and I think she's Thai. I think she's Thai, or she's Singapore. I forgot which one of them. And she's very attractive. I think she last competed back in 2019 as a figure competitor, but she mostly does more modeling stuff, more of the cupcake, the cupcake stuff. But she's very popular. Sometimes she even does I think there's some pictures of her dressed to like kind of like Chung Li in a way, or more closer to what's her face from Street Fighter, not Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. What's her name? Um, hmm, Katana. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she
Yeah,
does kind of. Yeah, she does like a katana impersonation. Yeah, and
yeah,
mhm. and and then there's a bodybuilder that some people might not know of. Her name is Sing Fong Law, and and this is one thing about her is that she's a transgender male. She's actually a woman who's living as a man, but the interesting thing about her, she competes as a female bodybuilder. And this is the thing about her. She makes an attractive female bodybuilder than a man. But she's originally from Hong Kong. And I think about 2018, I followed her because I think on social media. In 2018, she turned pro at the Vancouver Pro. But she last competed at the 2019 Muscle Fest, and she was going by another name. Uh, you know, I forgot what name it is. I thought I had it written down somewhere, but she goes by another name. But she still lives a life as a transgender male, but she competes as a female bodybuilder. And I'm not sure if like she was trained. She was trained under a bodybuilder from Canada by the name of Don Allison. And Don Allison, she does a lot of training of she has a home gym. She train. I don't think she has her own gym. She trains other competitors. She also was a competitor herself for a good while. And a while back, I remember I reached out to her on Facebook, asked her what is she still working with Sinfung, or or she said no, not she's not working with her anymore. But she's pretty impressive. I would say look her up. Um, and because she's on. I know she most definitely is on social media, and I would say anybody want to check her out. I mean, she may maybe I would say she's very interesting.
Yeah, nice, nice. Um, I looked up who I could find was the earliest Asian competitor that I could find who competed at a Miss Olympia. And the earliest I could find was 1982, and this was Kazuko Nak- uh, Nakao. I may be butchering some of these names, but I don't do it on purpose or anything. That's at least the earliest I could find in terms of the Asian competitors at the Miss Olympia.
Yeah.
And you already mentioned Mayan Mendoza.
Hmm.
Yeah, she was pretty popular. I found for a while. For a
Hmm.
while.
Yeah.
Uh, did you already mention Paula Suzuka?
Paula Suzuki. Paula
Yeah,
Suzuki. Technically,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
even though technically she is kind of Asian descent, but Hawaiian's more like Native American than really of Asian. And there's quite a few Hawaiians who are because they're Polynesian, and many of
Polynesian,
yeah,
Oceanic. All right,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I didn't know
yeah,
what descent she was.
yeah.
Yeah, if she
So that's
was of Hawaiian descent, then she would be Oceanic. I guess would probably be the best
yeah,
terminology.
yeah. She's closer to, if anything, closer to Native American,
Papa. Yeah.
than
Well,
to
actually, probably more Papua New Guinea or something like that.
yeah, like that. Yeah, because you got to remember, Hawaii is now is part of the United States, so or but they're more like but many of the Hawaiians are descendants from the Samoan, Tongans. I think there was a story where they say a lot of them came from that part of the side of the world with boats. But yeah, she many would say associate her being Asian, but not as much as per se. But like I said, with my aunt Mendoza, she retired after 2011, and then she went through about a cancer. She had about a cancer for a while, and she eventually she came out. She was cured of cancer, but now she works for other people. She trains. She she's I think she's a dietitian, something like that. I did send an email to her about doing an interview, and I'm hoping maybe she'll, I know she's probably a busy lady. She probably gets emails, dozen emails a day. Maybe she'll catch mine and read it. I'm hoping, cross my fingers. Also, one person we need most talking about is Olivia Bay, and Bay, she is probably was most popular female bodybuilder from mainland China, and I did a video a while back where when it was last year she came over here before the pandemic started and she came in maybe at least a month or so before compete for at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, and then she was disqualified, saying that because But this is the thing was she was over here at least a month and a half before the before the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic because Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic usually starts in March. I think this year they pushed it back to I don't. You gotta check. I think I saw somewhere they push it back to all the way to September or October. Because usually Australian Classic is usually the first bodybuilding show of the year. I believe there might be some issues with in Ohio. That's where I always had it in Ohio, and there might have been some talks. I don't know if their governor might be Democrat. I'm not sure, and they might have to move the Australian Classic someplace else. But Olivia, she's very popular. She's on social media. She's funny. She's wild. She was disqualified at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic in the physique division but then she pops back and she wins the Chicago Pro, which got her a shot at the Olympia. But at the Olympia, I think she only got 11. She made 11 at the Olympia and wins physique.
Okay, nice, nice, very nice indeed. Um, yeah, I didn't have too many physique competitors on mine. Mine was just mostly female bodybuilders. But yeah, you have somebody like uh, Lee Lee Lan Dal Lump and Knees.
Oh yeah,
Which
I think I know you're talking about. I remember you talking about. She passed away about a couple years back, and it's called Leah. And she had a great physique, great physique. I wasn't sure what um nationality she was. I think she might have been Thai, or she might have been from Singapore. One of those two, or maybe Filipino. But she had a martial arts background, and she even did a couple of movies, you know. But she had an amazing physique, a great body. She's one of those that she didn't do as good as an amateur. I mean, she was an amateur for quite a long time. She never got a pro card, you know. And that was one of those that you often there's some women you see in the amateurs, and you wonder they've been amateurs for such a long time, and they never get their pro card, and they just say, "Wow," you know. I'm not like I say, I'm not a judge. I'm a fan, and I just I'm really critiquing some of these ladies. But there's one lady who she's very popular. She's from Hong Kong also, and that is Melissa Sarah Wee, and she's known for mostly for her abs. She has a pretty she has a bright, pretty face, with dimples. She has a nice body. I believe she did some she'll compete that much. She does more or less a lot more modeling stuff, but she has competed in a few shows, and I think I've seen some stuff on her on the internet, and she's she's very impressive.
nice, nice. Yeah, definitely. We may have to put all these names on like a list in like maybe the description or something for everybody who's looking. 'Cause these are a lot of names we're listing. Yeah.
Well, give me a sec. I got something.
Uh,
I did do this. I did do this one because there's so many names. I couldn't put them all, but I got the ones I get. I'll be right back. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, there is a bodybuilder from, I think she's from Singapore, and I can't pronounce her name, but she's done a few shows. She has competed at the Miss Olympia in the physique division quite a few times. She's from Thailand. No, she's not from Singapore. She's from Thailand, and I can't pronounce her name. Kiana, if I remember her, I know what she looks like. I mean, one time she did a video where she's fighting a guy in the ring, and they're doing the Muay Thai. She has a great body. She's pretty attractive. Um, she's done the uh Rising Phoenix a few times. Like I said, she's done also the Miss Olympia. She hasn't done six. I think she placed maybe fourth or fifth at the Miss Olympia the last time. I think she was behind Heather. She took fourth. I think she took fifth behind Heather Grace. You know, and like I said, it's hard to pronounce her name. If I should have, I should have really do some check out like some of the other these other ladies that I just kind of she kind of slipped under the wire. But there's one lady who I follow on social media, and her name is Abby O. Jimenez, and she is from the Philippines, and she competes as a physique competitor. Right now, the Philippines is shut down, and she's mostly been training. And Abby is pretty impressive. I think she's getting a lot bigger, and I think she's going to make the switch to bodybuilding from physique. Once I think sometimes I reach out to her on IG, and I even talk about maybe trying to do an interview if she ever had time. You know, she's married. She has a son, and that's what also makes about like a woman who's a female bodybuilder, like who has children. Like I said again, Helen Davis, she has 3 kids. Abby, she has a son, and I think that's about it. All the other ladies are, some of them, like I know Tina Nugwin, she got married some time ago, and I don't know if she's gonna have children yet. You know, but it's traditionally, especially in Asian tradition, that a woman's supposed to be docile. She's supposed to walk like in Japan, the woman's supposed to walk like 6 feet something behind the men. But really, you see a lot of more. The things are changing, and women in overseas, especially in, like Japan and China, um, Korea, South Korea mostly, are getting more inspired in bodybuilding. And you remember Iris Kyle's husband, Hideki, you know, he's from Japan, and Iris goes over there and she does shows and she does a guest posing, and I think she's a big influencer.
Yeah.
And also you have a lot of female bodybuilders in India. This woman, I forgot her name, but she's impressive. She has an impressive body. I mean, it was possible if she ever, if she can get into like, see what this problem is. NPC years ago dropped international female bodybuilding. It's really hard for a lot of female bodybuilders to especially international wise to get onto the stage unless you compete in something like the NBA, like the NABBA or the WABBA, or there might be some version of the NPC around Asia. But like I said, it really is there's a big market for female bodybuilders in that part of the world. That's why recently you saw the Wings of Strength had added 3 Asian women to their ambassador program, and I think with one of them, she lives in Singapore, so that means that she can probably promote overseas, and try to get attention for female bodybuilders there. And then you have Michelle Jin, who's in Canada, where she can probably also, right now Canada's kind of shut down, so unless she can come over here and do something, it's kind of limited. And you got Helen Davis, who's in California, and but still California still have some shows, whatever else. It's not as California's not as shut down as everybody likes to think it is compared to other countries.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have just another list of more female bodybuilders. Did you mention Dawn Real? Real?
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah, I forgot about Don Rio. Yeah, I remember her. Now she was around about the time is Becky Ripley,
yeah.
and same time as also Becky, Brenda, and Maan, and she competed with them also. And I believe she was either Chinese or she was Filipino, one of the two, and she was pretty impressive. And she's one of those that I think got kind of you know overshadowed. She was an amateur for a long time. You know, and then eventually, like so many ones, after a while, you're never going to become pro, no matter what you do. You eventually just say, you know what, I'm just go ahead and just just pack it in. But she was pretty impressive. I remember her a good part of the '90s.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of these like '90s Asian female bodybuilders that I find to be very impressive. Uh, I think Brenda, she was probably the one that most influenced me growing up because she was the one that that was back when I was growing up. With like those early aughts Miss Olympias that was and female bodybuilding time period. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, there is a bunch. Finally, do we mention Chung Rai Kim?
Yeah, I think ain't she from Korea, South Korea?
I believe so. I know that there was one Korean female bodybuilder. I checked actually.
Hmm. Anyway, like this, since there's three people here, we
Yeah,
appreciate y'all dropping your likes. Also, if y'all know any Asian female bodybuilders that you're a fan of, that you recognize, drop it in the description. Also, I have here my PayPal, my GoFundMe, and also my Cash App. Hey, I can lose a little donation. Hey, it's a brother can use a little money. I ain't got to the level where I'm monetized. But like I said, it's starting to become a growing market. Like, there's a lot of Asian males in the sport of bodybuilding. Quite a few. Like I mentioned Hideki and a couple others. But like I said, I think the women with them, I think it's more out of something different, and it's not and it gets. I think it gets the of what women should be, especially in a sport like bodybuilding, where it's mostly what some people say is masculine, and many people see Asian women as being soft, but many of these Asian women I've seen, when they become bodybuilders, they really pack on some Asian muscle because a lot of them
yeah,
are a lot, smaller frames, shorter. I think like I was looking at some of the height, like Brenda was at 5'3", and she was about maybe her weight was like 135 in competition, and my aunt, I believe she was like around mm, 5'1", and I think my competition she weighed maybe around mm, 120, something like that. Because this off season competition where you're a little heavier, and that's the time we try to get under extra muscle. And then there's your competition time where you have to really cut down, look more defined, and it's just some amazing looks to them. And then with that, they're very exotic looking, great muscle, great development. Some just had mixed genetics. I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at a picture of um, of uh, of Helen Davis on her IG, and Helen is she's huge. Even for a small Asian woman, she is huge. I mean, she kind of reminds me of a younger version of Colette Gourmand. Colette was like
yeah,
she was beefy.
yeah. And
So
she was also pretty small too. Yeah,
yeah, I think Colette
very
was maybe
beefy.
five 5 feet 5'1", and I think there was a bodybuilder by the name of she never turned pro, but her name was Barbara Fletcher, and Barbara was like 4'11". You know, but like I said, there's quite a few female bodybuilders from like parts of Asia, South Pacific. Also one person I almost forgot is my dear friend Miss Maria Flores, and she's from Guam. And I think Guam is kind of like it's in the South Pacific, and she's of Asian descent. And amazing about about Maria. Maria is almost 60 years old, and she is amazing condition. She's her and her husband Philip. You know, Philip. They are committed to the sport. Me and I call him the Colonel, and we talk back for a bit sometimes on social media. He recently posted something about Trump, and I laughed, and he just and he sometimes laughs about stuff I post, but it is she's pretty good. She's a great lady. She competed this year. She did like I think she did three shows. I believe she did the Tampa show. She did Tampa. I think she did New York, and she did Chicago. And I think they say they might do the Tampa, they might do the Puerto Rico, and maybe Chicago this year.
Nice, nice. Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to get over here without any problems or restrictions.
Well, like I said, Maria, she lives here in America. She lives in Virginia. She used to live in Florida, but she lives in Virginia.
Nice.
Yeah. And the rest of a lot of ladies, I think some of them really want to come here and compete in America because this is where most shows are, and the ones that had the pro cards. And I think I remember I mentioned to Abby Jimenez, I said she's like fight well she might compete. She said she wasn't sure. I said, well, you probably can do the if you can't come overseas, maybe you can try to do the Muscle Fest. It's all depending. You can do a quarantine for a couple of weeks. Like pretty much you got to do at least about a month worth of quarantine. You got to do at least about 2 weeks, before you leave, and 2 weeks when you go back. And that's. But like I said, somebody says that's kind of expensive, to do quarantine. If you have the money to do it, you can do it. But if you don't, that's why a lot of women miss the shows, like over here in the United States, because it's costs too much to quarantine.
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully we see more Asian female bodybuilders compete as time goes on, because that's a good growing market, to say the least. Yeah, as female bodybuilding expands worldwide, I'd say. Yeah. I don't really know. I don't really have any more on my list, honestly. There is some. I think I read somewhere in Malaya or something, Malaysia. They actually banned female bodybuilding for a bit. But I think that ended, though. I looked it up or something. Yeah, I think it's actually. Yeah, it says. Give me a second. I'll just look at something up. Yeah, I was. I think for a while, female bodybuilding was banned in Malaysia, but I think they got rid of that, but I don't know exactly when. I think Afghanistan as well. A lot of these things, when it comes to other countries, especially stuff like that, it's a bit confusing and complicated, because you don't know like which is like quote unquote banned and which is what would be the word, socially unacceptable, because you got to remember some of these countries are a bit more a bit less advanced in terms of gender equality than some other countries like, say, America or Canada or stuff like that.
Yeah, I think around Malaysia and Afghanistan and you go Pakistan, is their religion is Islamic, and
Yes.
as you know, the Islamic religion is that women, can't be, like you mentioned, you saw about the female bodybuilder from Iran, and you mentioned Mona Porcel, you know, Porcel. She did an interview where she said she can't go back to Iran because there's a bounty on her, and if she goes there, she get arrested. And I think, and
Yeah.
one thing about being a female bodybuilder, and if you're a Muslim, you cover your body, you can't really see the details. You can wear something
Yeah.
like a body stocking, but you're just going to see the muscle. You can't really see the detail. I remember I was watching, I was on Twitter. I saw this a video. It was between a boxer from Australia and this woman who was, I believe she was Middle Eastern. I'm not sure where, and she was pretty much dressed with the from head to toe. And they do the weigh-ins, and they couldn't read her properly. And she was fully dressed, but she had weight. But here's the things you need to do: if you want to do a full weigh-in, do this. Hire female officials because she can go to a bathroom, she can take off most of her clothes, she can wear underclothes, she can weigh, you can do the official weight, and all she do is just go on the weight and just flex, show off like you do with MMA, and then say that's her weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that, and nothing's violated that wise. I think there actually is a female bodybuilder who lives in Iran who not the one I was talking about earlier, but a different one who actually does you know work out and has a pretty good body that I could see, but she has to wear, like as you said, full stockings and everything to comport with the society that she lives in. So yeah, that's interesting to note, to say the least. Uh, yeah, and that's pretty much basically
The
all I
hard
know
part
about
about
that.
being in a country. Yeah. Mhm. Like I said, this is a great topic to talk about because the Asian market is kind of growing. As you know, China is becoming. It's always been super powerful for a long time, but it's opening up more to opportunities. I know Olivia. She moved back. She went back home for a while. She says she's hoping to come back and compete. And I like Olivia Bing. She's entertaining. She's funny. I follow social media. She makes me laugh. She's a great person, a genuine great person. I hope to see her compete again. Maybe she'll be able to make the top five at this year's Olympics.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I sure hope so.
yeah. So anyway, was a subject we just talked about. Everybody out there, share this video with anybody you know. Also, research a lot of these ladies. Some of these ladies, they do this stuff like I said as a passion. Research, talk to them. Maybe even befriend them. Ask questions. Like I said, I think I might try to send out about doing interviews with them and see their standpoint and how they feel and what they think about being Asian in such a masculine sport, where it's not
Yeah,
where it's not as traditional for a woman to be in. But like I said,
yeah. Or if you have any information about any Asian female bodybuilders that we didn't cover or anything like that, or more info, just send us that information. Which we're always looking out for more info to get.
mhm. Also put in the description. If they have any kind of social media connection, put in the description, send it to me or Jared, and we'd like to reach out to them. And if the ladies out there, like I say, if you are of Asian descent and you're listening to this video, reach out to me. I wouldn't mind doing an interview. And, like I said, we talk about how you're feeling, how you got into sport, and your thoughts on it. But anyway, this is a great little subject. I don't think it gets a lot to talk about. As you know, right now in America, there's a big anti-Asian movement. Most of it blames because of the pandemic from last year. The situation happened with the guy in Atlanta with the we shot and killed um, I think 6 Asian women. And
Yeah.
like this, and you got to remember the Asian people are part of this country for a long time. You know, they get more of a pass because they're not black compared to being black. But I got to respect that the fact they're in a a lot of these ladies in such a sport like bodybuilding. They're making their bones. They're doing pretty good. Hope to see more of them in the future. Like I say, it's going to be a bigger market. I hope maybe Winter Strength will probably maybe I think Winter Strength might even try to do a show maybe in South Korea or Japan or even I would say Singapore probably the best place. And I think a lot
Yeah.
of competitors will go out of the country and compete. I think once everything settles down, the pandemic is over, everybody's got their shots, and travel restrictions are done. I think that's going to happen eventually. So anyway, I'd like to thank y'all for coming to the end on my on Muscle Talk Monday episode number 29. I appreciate for coming in. Oh wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, my man KLA just dropped the name Zen Il Chu Cho. I think that's the name is. I think I heard of that name before. Thanks, LA ain't no angel. KLA. Yeah. I think I heard that name before. Yeah. I yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks
Yeah.
for
Looks
dropping that.
somewhat. Looks
Yeah.
somewhat familiar.
Yeah. I think I heard that name before. I think she might be Chinese or she might be Korean, one of the two. But anyway, I appreciate everybody for coming in. Thanks for hitting that like button. Thanks for subscribing. Like I said, we appreciate y'all supporting Muscle Talk Mondays. Uh, you know, it's a great show. I really like talking about this subject. Oh, she's from India. Okay, India Matha. How you said it? Oh, she's from India. Okay. FP, yeah, FP from India. Yeah, we think we talked about from KLA. I think we talked about there's somebody based from India. I don't know no names right off, but I've seen some
Yeah.
videos and they're pretty impressive. But they do something I don't know. They might have put too much tannin solution on their bodies or something, because But there's some pretty impressive women in India. And once, like I said, if really like winter strength and your IFBB really concentrate because it's really I think more of the bodybuilders are competing in the MABBA or the WABBA from that part of the world, and I think the IFBB and winter strength really should try to invest you know opportunities for bodybuilders like that. Like I said, but anyway, this was a like I said again, this was a great subject. You know, And I really appreciate my man KLA ain't no angel. He's a pretty cool dude. He comes on my channel. He drops some information. He likes my videos. I really appreciate him. I really appreciate my man Jared. He gives information. He's my historian, information wizard. You know, he's my Dennis Espinoza of my channel. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Anyway, I like to thank y'all for coming by. I appreciate y'all dropping your likes, subscribe, take the video, share it. If you know, like I said again, if you know any Asian bodybuilders, share this video. Try to get in contact with me. Maybe just interviews, talk about how they got in the sport, how what they think about how the sport is going, how if is there a real opportunity for Asian women. Oh, there's another one you just dropped, Tamiko Kanda. And I think I heard that one before also. You know, I think she's from yo, KL, where she's from. Hmm.
I think I've seen her before too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard that name before. Yeah. Kale drop. Kale coming the last minute dropping all these names, but yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think they can put Kale can probably post more in maybe the comment description. Yeah, and yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Kale, we talked about Michelle Jean. Michelle Jean, calves. Oh, you like her calves? I love her calves. Oh, she might have really good calves. You know,
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mentioned
yeah,
that before.
yeah. That's why I think that's why she took second at the Toronto Pro last year behind Marjorie Martin. Margie's quads, her calves. You know, but anyway, I really appreciate y'all coming by, dropping a like, share the video. I mean, and like I said again, give more attention to women who are Asian descent, in the sport of bodybuilding. Maybe someday down the line, we might see an Asian bodybuilder become the first Miss Olympia, maybe Zeke Olympia, more closer to that. And, like I said, change the market. The Asian market is a big market. And I think that's what it is. Like in UFC, right now in the next couple of weeks, Wei Zhang, the UFC women's strawweight champion, is supposed to be fighting against Ronda Namajunas, and when she won that title, that was a big thing. And just like I said, it's a big market. We still remember when Yao Ming became in the NBA. A couple of more Asian basketball players. Like I
Yeah.
said, I really thank y'all. Like I said, I want to thank y'all again. I appreciate y'all coming by. Uh, like I said, just like I say, like, subscribe, share the videos, the content, and just have fun. All right. So this is your man, all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. My man Jared.
How's it going? And peace out, everybody.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.